What's going on there, sports fans? We finally got an update in College Football 25. It's been about a week or two, and I just created this video on the top 3 things that needed to be fixed in EA Sports College Football 25 Dynasty, and it looks like in these patch notes they've already fixed some of them. So let's go through them and see exactly what they updated a couple days back, as there's still some issues that need to be fixed, but they got to a good chunk of them a couple days ago. Now to start off, I know there's a bunch of issues in Ultimate Team as well, as in the one that literally just came out yesterday with EA being like, hey, you get a free 86 Lamar Jackson if you just do the set after you do the challenges, and then everyone does the challenges and it's like, where's my Lamar Jackson? So I just did the challenges today or yesterday whenever I did them, just to make sure that, hey, if they do make rights, I'll get Lamar. That's about it for Ultimate Team. Solo battles still aren't in the game as of when I'm recording this, and I don't know when they're going to be back, but I really just need to play one solo battles game just to get a little bit more XP to finish that one field pass. This is mainly going to focus on Dynasty, as that's why everyone's here to watch. My goal and my responsibility to the College Football 25 community is to try to give updates about Dynasty and provide good content about it. I'm not really going to care about the Ultimate Team too much, even though I've played that mode the most. I want to dive more into Dynasty, and so that's what we're going to do. So this all came out before the patch, and then this is the things that they actually fixed starting here. The first thing that happened was audio. Now the commentary people have been saying is a little bit bland. I personally think it's a step up from Madden, but the way that Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler were really hyping it up really kind of make it seem underwhelming. I mean, you watch, and I've had some incorrect commentaries too, where like a guy will get inside midfield and then Chris will say something like, oh, they're in the red zone. I'm like, well, that's not right, but they're trying to get more dynamic commentary. It's exciting, but it's still not as nice as you would like it to be. So the main issues with commentary, actually like incorrect things, was I guess there's something with the first season when you're at Utah. I didn't know that, so good for Utah. And then Florida State's War Chant and Rocky Top were not audible when playing on the Xbox Series S. I think that's actually what I have right over there, so that's good to know. Now logos, this is also something I saw, the bottom one specifically with the conference patches when changing a small subset of teams. So this is like a thing where people would move them over to the Pac-12, and I think they'd still have an ACC patch or something like that. And we'll actually dive more into the Pac-12 here in a second, but Dynasty mode, actually shout out UCF before we get into it, but Dynasty mode is why we're here. So they gave a bunch of paragraphs about all this stuff, and the most important thing they focused on was the Super Sim logic. I literally said in the other video a couple days ago that, hey, way too many times 8-4 teams are making the college football playoff, and it's like, why is there someone that's 12-0 ranked 4th and then I'm 10-2 and I'm first? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And now I do want to say this is still an issue today where people are saying this exact same thing. I just saw one today and last night where guys, Ohio State was ranked first, beat number 4 Michigan, dropped 3 spots, and it's like he got jumped by 10-2 Clemson, who beat an unranked team, and then another team that wasn't that good that beat an unranked team. I don't remember who it was. So this is some of the stuff that doesn't make sense, but the start, that's a little different than Super Sim logic tuning. This is the issue where too many FCS schools are beating too many Power 5 teams. It's cool to see once every 15 years, or maybe once a year if you're playing Dynasty, like, hey, that happened over there. But too many times these Power 5 schools are getting upset because I think the overalls are way too close. The issue is, this is what people are saying, that too many of these teams outside of the Power 5 are treated almost as lower Power 5 teams, which means that there's not this big talent gap between these teams. And you know, maybe with the transfer portal, we'll see more of these upsets and more of these balanced teams. But as of right now, there is a huge gap between the best team in the Mountain West and the 8th best team in the SEC. The 8th best team in the SEC still beats them by 20. And in this sim, they're saying, hey, Boise State matches up really well with Ole Miss, which I know Ole Miss ain't the 8th best team in the SEC, but you get what I'm saying. Just because they don't want to disrespect these kids that are getting money to be in the game, realistically, the overall should have a lower floor. Now, hey, if you're gonna tell me I'm a 40 overall in the game, I'm be like, that don't make sense. I'm no 40 overall. That guy's a 78 overall. Like, what? How does that make sense? But realistically, that probably makes it the easiest to show the talent gap and the talent distribution between these two teams. That's not the fix we got. Sorry to ramble. The issue that they fixed, as you can see, is that they did change the tuning of it, which I have seen a little bit more realistic top 12 teams. We still get those couple of weird ones in the mix, but it's a lot better than it was about a week ago. Now, like I said, this is still an issue where too many of these 4-loss teams are being in the top 5 and whatnot, so hopefully this is something that they could tune throughout the season to make it better. I also just made a video about what team I'm going to start using in Dynasty here in a couple days. Check that out. Hint, you're not going to want to miss it. There's a lot of new things I got, and it's exciting. Now, what I did really like about EA, we got to call EA out when they're wrong, but one thing I really liked that they did was that they provided workarounds here, and I don't even know if this is the website that added this, but EA is showing, hey, we screwed up here. Here's how you can work around these glitches and issues. Like I said, the Pac-12 was coming later, and in Dynasty, when people happened to try to put the Pac-12 back to what it was a year ago, it was not giving them a conference schedule, and they were still playing like weird teams out there, not Pac-12 opponents again. So as you can see, they added a workaround to turn on division games. or to turn divisions on, and you're able to now put conference games and whatnot. So they basically fixed that, where you could then get rid of divisions and fix that. So it's good that they found an issue for that, or they found a fix for that. And so it's good they found a fix for that, because a lot of people want to bring back the Pac-12 and just play basically an updated experience of what we see in the last couple of years. Now, an interesting one I saw is that when a recruit reaches their top 5 stage, it doesn't display that they're ready for a visit, even though you can meet the requirements. Now, the fix it says is that, hey, they're just planning additional tuning. I'm not sure if people have fixed this issue or what it is, but still, that's a big issue with the game right now, is that if, hey, you're a small school and you have a guy in your top 5 and you can't even try to get a visit with them, then the big dog is just going to eat you up. Now, the small chances of freezing, all they said was just wait a couple seconds between going between Super Sim and actual plays. Totally fine. Most of these fixes are just exit the mode or just give it a few seconds, as this is newer and ran on a newer console, so just give it a little bit of slack. Now, like I said, the polls and the sim logic are the two biggest things that I feel like need to be fixed. I don't see a fix on here about people losing their Dynasty forever, which is why I'm still a little hesitant to jump into Dynasty. I plan on starting around August 1st. Hopefully they roll out a new update by Monday and make it a little bit easier to play. Now, nothing here looks out of the ordinary. The deluxe edition of College Football 25 and Madden NFL 25 are still $99.99. The MVP bundle coming in at $149.99, which is basically $150, and with Game Pass about $135. Now, if you didn't see, Xerxes made a great video about this, where I think at like midnight they had it where it was only $50, and I wish I would have gotten that. I wish I would have waited the one more week in order to get this, because I know I made a couple videos about why I'm not getting the deluxe, but if I could have saved those $15 extra that I did on just getting the college football game to get both Madden and both College Football 25, I would have absolutely done it. So with that being said, I think it's still available on Xbox, not right here on this screen, but if you go on Xbox Game Pass and you have not bought either of these two games, maybe it's still out there for $75, which is still a really good deal. So just try to help someone out. If you didn't know that, I think it might still be available. But with that being said, that's going to be it today. I hope you guys enjoyed. You got to let me know down below what you think about these patch updates, and hopefully they come out with another one. And let me know what you're doing right now on the first couple weeks of College Football 25, because I've just been running some Ultimate Team challenges, even though I'm getting ready for Dynasty and Road to Glory. But with that being said, make sure y'all have a great day, and peace.